The plot to push Moodey out by attacking his character was put into action. A public attack on his credibility was carried out in the media, and weekend after weekend, vague allegations of impropriety was leaked to a newspaper with the objective of casting doubt upon the character and honesty of the first black federal leader of the Democratic Alliance. Now, some people are going to say I'm being racist here, or I'm bringing black conflict and white conflict here. I'm going to call it for what it is. This is my South Africa, and I will fight for what I believe in. And when I see injustice, I will not shy away from challenging it. Not at all. After Helen was elected as interim Federal Council Chairman, we saw first Herman Mashaba, then a few days later Moodey leaving the DA, and Athol Trollip resign as Federal Chairperson, all doing so before they were pushed out of the party or out of their positions. This tactic isn't foreign or unknown in the DA. Presently, the disciplinary process is being used to neutralize those who supported Moodey and Athol. No less than 6 provincial leaders are facing multiple disciplinary charges. In total, 9 of the members of the 25-member federal executive are facing disciplinary charges. Personally, I have been a victim of such underhanded disparaging tactics at every provincial congress I contested, barring the first one. Trumped-up charges and character assassination and rumor-mongering to destroy my character has been a constant practice I've learned to weather and to live with. Presently, as usual, because I dare to put my hat in the ring to contest for the federal leadership, I'm facing charges for defending Moodey in public, by exposing those behind the attack on him in the media. And I've been informed that there are further charges to be brought against me for allegedly being involved in a conspiracy to frame a senior DA parliamentarian on charges of soliciting sex for jobs. There is a conspiracy among senior leaders of the DA to have my membership terminated on manufactured evidence and allegations. Well, as I said, I had experienced these smear tactics in the past, but stayed on because I believed in the party and that direction it was taking, and I survived. However, with the new interim leadership in place, the direction of that the party is taking is to draw into a lager of protectionism and being satisfied with being a mere 15, maybe 20% party. At the meeting with the councillors in the city of Johannesburg, Helen said to them, just wake up and smell the coffee. Not her words, but more or less that. Get used to the fact that you will be a 20% party. I didn't get involved in the DA to be an opposition party in perpetuity. Got involved in the DA to fight for the freedom of South Africa and to build democracy and to become a party in government. Not just at local government level or at one province, but nationally. So, if the DA party is, satisfied with governing in Cape Town and the Western Cape Enclave, I'm not. The DA is doing everything possible to appease the 350 odd voters they lost in 2019, most of them to the Freedom Front Plus. And I believe that they believe that they can win them back. Really? The DA has lost its direction. The lack of caring about the vote lost in the colored, Asian and black voter market is what really peeves me off. It is evident in the unsanctioned statements and belief of the Federal Council chairperson about the legacy of colonialism and the naive belief that de Klerk alone is to be credited with bringing apartheid to an end. No mention of Bishop Tutu. No mention of Alan Busak. No mention of all those other heroes and heroines and leaders that stood together to ensure that South Africa does not end up being worse off than Belfast, an island, but for us to build a South Africa going through a peaceful transition. Furthermore, she has her astonishing belief that there are more racist laws passed since 1994 than during the apartheid exposes her thinking and underlying sentiments. This statement has and is causing irreparable harm to the DA brand and racial harmony in South Africa, yet she remains in office. If it is to be so then, that there are more racist laws passed since 1994 to now, those racist laws that she calls were passed in Parliament. Where was the Democratic Alliance members of Parliament? Did they oppose any of those? If it was so racist, if it wasn't about correcting the injustices of the past. So we can use figures and we can twist the facts to suit our aims. If these laws are such that it classifies anyone a lesser human being and the DA has not opposed such publicly, then I am by association complicit in supporting a new version of apartheid, separate development and the subjugation of fellow South Africans. I do not appreciate such populist and blatant twisting of facts which fans the rising racial tensions in the country. When she tweets about black people in the townships being fascinated by the texture of a grandchild's hair in response to a black girl child reciting a poem about "Don't touch my hair" at a Black Lives Matter rally, to highlight the murder of blacks by white policemen abusing the authority in the USA, she misses the point the young girl makes about the treatment of black people in general. As she holds a prominent political office in the DA, she is a brand ambassador for the party. Helen is either stone deaf or ignorant or both. It is a tragedy that in such an important time in our history, the present leadership just continues to follow her blindly and to dance to her tune. She is not paying me for, I am not her piper. Being the person that I am, I wrote a letter to all public representatives in the DA denouncing her statements. I will challenge such insensitive, biased behavior and statements wherever and from whomever it may come, because it speaks to a sense of superiority. The fact that the party remains quiet when she makes such pronouncements shows that it supports her opinion. I have regrettably and after much soul searching reached the point where I am unable to defend these insensitive utterances and statements. The party's lack of principle in failing to appropriately deal with the issue of redress in this most unequal society we find ourselves in speaks of the direction it is going into. Helen's tweet regarding black people living in a state of perpetual victimhood is highly insensitive. It is hurtful and it is deliberately provocative. I am deeply saddened, uncomfortable, and I am no longer at home in the Democratic Alliance. To stay on for the sake of earning a salary isn't an option to me. To stay on and say I will face those charges and weather the storm and show them up for what they are, for the sake of what? 6 months maybe of turmoil, because the plot is very clear. They have to rid the DA of any of us who dare to speak up about the truth, that all South Africans' lives matter, that the prosperity of all South Africans matters, the lifting up out of poverty of all our people matters, the livelihoods of all our people matters. And though I am beholden to the DA for the opportunity it afforded me in contributing to building a better South Africa, the current Democratic Alliance isn't the same one I joined 22 years ago. I can no longer drive my aim for a better South Africa in this environment. And I'm aware of many more DA members who feel the very same way as I do. So, fellow South Africans, today I announce that I'm resigning as a member of the Democratic Alliance. I thank you for coming.